Again, I'm gonna say this one more time.
Okay, I'm listening.
Not arguing against what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
So you're taking this a little too defensive, and I'm agreeing with you.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. But
Okay.
Everybody's bodies are different. I had a parent. I'm a preschool teacher by profession, and I had a vegan parent. And she would send her son with vegan lunches all the time. And we knew for a growing child, they have to have animal protein.
Oh, okay.
He looked sick.
Is that based on science or?
No, that is based on science.
Okay.
And she ended up having to eat meat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a great anecdote,
she
but
got pregnant.
it's important that you look at peer-reviewed data, and the largest institute that researches health in the world, the American Dietetics Association, has said it's perfectly healthy to be vegan from infancy to old age.
Oh yeah, and I think that depends on everybody's body. And
Well, if you're human, so if you have a human body.
I personally would thrive off of a vegan body. Off of a
diet.
I know I would.
Right, right.
But you have to understand, everybody's body is different.
Okay.
She ended up getting pregnant again, and she got very sick. Okay. Her doctor told her, you need to eat meat. And she did. And I said, well, how does that make you feel? She goes, I got real sick. And I did have to end up eating meat. And the one thing that she did, because she's very conscious about the diet, she made sure that the meat that she ate was grass-fed. Like if she was going to eat beef, it was definitely grass-fed organic beef. Not the garbage that you get in the supermarket.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you, every human's different. And her body, she needed it for that time during her pregnancy. And I think afterwards, once her body was she went through whatever it is that her body was going through, I think then she could get back on her vegan diet once the baby's born. But everybody is different.
Okay, so...
by the way, I took a vegan raw class, a 21-day detox class 3 times. And it made a huge difference in my life.
Okay.
I'm not arguing against veganism.
Okay, right on.
Any kind of way. I'm just saying...
You're saying different people are different and some can't be vegan?
I think... No. That's not what I'm saying.
Or you might be unhealthy. You know what I mean?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for that season in her life, she needed to eat animal protein because she was pregnant, and the vegan diet wasn't working for her. She wasn't getting enough nutrients. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay.
This is a woman. This is coming from her. This is nothing I made up.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that everybody's different in terms of, there are some people that need to have animal protein. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and that's actually not supported by the overwhelming scientific community and the data that's been done.
See, I disagree.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you may have an anecdote, and there may be many anecdotes of people being unhealthy on a vegan diet, there's actually more evidence that people are unhealthy on a plant or animal agriculture-based diet. So all meat is a carcinogen. So there's there's no nutrients that you would get out of the consumption of dead flesh that you couldn't get out of plants.
Again, I'm gonna say this one more time.
Okay, I'm listening.
Not arguing against what you're saying. So you're taking this a little too defensive, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying for a season, some people's bodies, every human being's not made the same.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
What's going to work for the majority of us may not work for this individual, like this woman. I'm telling you, this was her body. She is a hardcore vegan. She's all about the lifestyle.
Right.
She had to end up eating meat for a time of her pregnancy.
Okay.
We're not doctors. We can't diagnose her, but this is what happened to her. This is her story.
Right.
She doesn't want to be on meat, but she had to be on meat.
Because her doctor told her.
No, she got sick.
And then her doctor said a remedy would be meat, right?
Her doctor is a natural doctor that is definitely vegan. It's all about the green lifestyle. Okay? All of her doctors were green. Okay? She did not have a regular doctor. She knew the balance of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and grains. Okay? She knew the combination of how to get those proteins that you don't need from the animal. I get that. She did all of that. It's just for her pregnancy, for some reason, she ended up having to eat meat.
Interesting. So that's a really interesting story, but unfortunately that's not consistent across the board, so it's not an argument
and I
for
never
why.
said that. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to say that because I agree with you.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Remember what I told you? I agree with you. Okay. I know that if I were to go on a vegan raw diet, I know for me.
Not raw, just vegan. Vegan doesn't mean raw.
Vegan, I know.
Okay.
But I know I would thrive.
Interesting.
It's hard. It's very difficult.
Well, it's actually the easiest thing I've ever done.
See, but it's not easy I love meat. I'm sorry.
I did too. Nobody goes vegan because they don't like the taste of meat. They do it because they realize their taste buds aren't worth more than an individual's life.
Everybody's different. It's like, I love the taste of meat, but I know I need to eat less of it, and I know I should go more, vegan.
Plant-based,
yeah.
Right.
So, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Don't take it so personal.
Oh no, I just want to make sure you have as much peer-reviewed data available to you as possible, because it sounds like the anecdote is overruling the data to you.
And I have the education and the awareness of the vegan lifestyle. I took a course by a natural doctor.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Richard D'Andrea. Have you ever heard of him? Okay. Richard D'Andrea was a medical doctor, MD, straight across the board. Accidentally got into natural medicine through his nurses. And he took a complete turn in the whole natural medicine healing world. And he's now vegan. He does not eat meat at all.
No, that's cool.
John Wood is a vegan. John Wood is his nutritionist. And they taught a course, the 21-day detox course. And that was a 5-week course that we did. It was every Sunday. We would come to class. The first day was we went on a field trip to a co-op supermarket. And Dr. D'Andrea talked about all of the different foods that we can eat. He says, just because it says it's organic doesn't mean it's organic. We learned all that. Look, I took the courses, the breakdown. One of the best things that's closest to human blood is wheatgrass. If you look under a microscope and if you look at the whole buildup, it's very similar. It's one of the most healing things that you can take in your system.
Yeah.
It's like blood. It's like almost equivalent to human blood in a sense. We learned about the chakras. We learned about everything, how and why food combining, why meat is so horrible. We took the whole week we talked about the meat industry, number one.
That's cool.
We talked about how meat, human consumption of milk, our bodies were not made for milk, only when we're infants.
Right.
And we're nursing mother's milk. After that, your body cannot digest milk.
Right.
And one of the reasons why people have all the diseases and all the stuff is based on animal dead life.
Yeah.
I get all that, and it makes a lot of sense. So we taught. One of the things I liked about my class is that we learned how to actually make vegan dishes.
Oh, cool.
And we had the recipe book. I know how to make a mock, delicious mock Caesar salad dressing. We use Dulce seaweed in a blender. We use yeast, nutritional yeast, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, a little bit of the Dulce seaweed, maybe a little bit of Bragg's amino acid, and then blend it really well. And that's your mock.
Sounds good, yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's really good. First week we did was all vegan, cooked. Then we got introduced to blending because we don't juice, we blend because you're going to need the fiber. Yeah. And we got introduced to soaking almonds because we're not doing if it didn't grow out of the ground, you don't eat it. For 21 days, we are to abstain from anything that didn't grow out of the ground, including, he said, stay away from, for the cleanse, we're not going to do honey. You can do no sugar, no white sugar. We stayed away from that. We used maybe a little bit of, dates was one way to get your sugars.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make a smoothie, you're going to soak your almonds, and John Wood taught us how to soak almonds to get milk. You soak it overnight, rinse that, and then you blend it and add water, clean water. That was another thing. We learned about different types of water that are more alkalizing.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then you add one banana, whatever fruit you want, blend that. If you need to sweeten it a little bit, the best way to sweeten it is to use natural sugars from fruit.
Yeah.
Dates is probably one of the best ways to sweeten.
Totally.
And we blend that, and then you want to add a little bit of spices, that's good. That was our morning, smoothies were the morning breakfast. We weren't on a diet. He goes, this is not a diet, it's not about a diet. It's about cleaning your body out. So if you need to drink another one, that's fine. We didn't have any kind of limitations on the amount of food that we could eat. And then lunch was like a typical marinara sauce with spaghetti and salad, side salad, maybe some fruit on the side, some little, veggie sticks or whatever. First week was easy. You can have French fries? Yeah, sure. We're like, okay. Smoothies in the morning. Week 2 was raw.
Oh.
Week 2 was hard.
Yeah, I bet.
He says, I know that some of you meat eaters will sneak and eat meat. You know what? I don't care. If you need to sneak a piece of bacon, it's not going to kill you. It's a lot. I'd rather for you to sneak that one piece of bacon than to give this up. And I did. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not that bad. Week 2, oh, by the way, he wanted us to journal our changes in our bodies. If you notice anything different, and he says you are going to purge. Some of you may have breakouts. Some of you may get sick. Your body is purging poisons and toxins and heavy metals out of the system. All the garbage that you've put in from meat consumption, dairy consumption, and all the garbage. Because he says, if you can, please do organic. Week 2, I had my nail, one of my toes had like a black line growing down the middle. Week 2 was gone. And I wrote it in my journal. I noticed that I wear glasses and I have problems with eyesight. One morning I woke up, I thought I had my glasses on. I thought I could see my vision cleared up a little bit.
That's interesting.
It wasn't like completely, but there was clarity.
Right.
So I journaled that in my book. Talked to Dr. DeAndrea. Anybody on medications, anybody doing meds, if you have medical conditions, we would have to talk to him because he's a real doctor. So we would go to him for that. So week 2, we were introduced to energy soup. And energy soup is probably one of the best things. If you can eat anything, it's all you need basically. Energy soup is in a blender, a big handful of kale, or I'm not a big fan of kale. Spinach, I like spinach. Some half green apple, some carrots, those little baby carrots, throw that in there. Cucumber, other greens, throw it in there. Half a lemon squeezed, a clove of garlic, half an avocado, sea salt, Bragg's amino acid, dulse seaweed, and a cup of Dr. Greens. It's that, the spirulina.
Oh, yeah.
All that. Put it in there, blend, bring the water up, clean water, salt it for, sea salt for taste, and blend. Energy soup was introduced in week 2. And week 3 was the hardest, was only energy soup. Then Dr. DeAndrea weaned us from any sugars. Now we're on straight blended energy soup. And he's like, you're going to boo-boo out everything green. Everything's going to be green. He goes, you're going to notice your bowel movement is going to be very different from what you're normally used to. He taught us, introduced us to the colon cleanse, because he says, I don't recommend colon cleanses unless your body has purged up a little bit and you've washed out all that garbage. Then we can start introducing you into like a colon cleanse. He had different people from the community, because I'm from LA, I'm not from up here. He had people from all over LA, everybody in the natural world come in and give us a class educate us on certain things, chakras, yoga, food combining, stretches, exercise, everything. And he says, while you're on your cleanse, at least 3 liters of water a day. Drink your water and get some rest. No more than 30 minutes of exercise. Don't go out there pumping iron. That's not. Cleansing is your body needs to heal. And he says for every season, I recommend a cleanse, especially for the non-vegan people. At least 4 times a year, try to cleanse and go vegan and just get it out of your system. Just give your body a break. Your body needs a break.
That's cool. Because a lot of people, I'm sure, will see the benefits and stay with it then, Yeah,
well, we had one girl from one of the classes before me. She has a history of breast cancer in her family, and she had it. She did the cleanse, And she was up there crying because she said when she went back to her doctor, they couldn't find it.
Right. Yeah, that's consistent. A lot of people are moving to a whole food plant-based diet and reversing cancer, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, you name it.
Yeah, and she says from now on, this is my lifestyle. Yeah, and I mean, to be realistic, I'm interested in, I love my meat, I don't want to give it up, but I really believe that if I did more of an 80% vegan, if I do eat 20% meat, it needs to be a good quality piece of meat. It needs to be organic. It needs to be grass-fed. It needs. I need to know where it's coming from. If I do eat meat, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop eating meat. I love my meat.
Don't apologize to me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I love meat. I'm sorry, I'm going to eat it.
Well, sure, everyone loves to eat the dead flesh of an animal, but are your taste buds worth more than the life of an individual? Would you apply that to any other social justice movement? Would you say, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't.
Again, I won't, I don't need the apology at all. I would take the intent of that apology, maybe apply it to your day-to-day practices and realize that maybe the animals are who you are morally feeling like you need to apologize to, and you can simply, abstain from paying for their needless slaughter in the first place, and then send your apologies to them.
I don't adhere to that worldview about. I think animals they're great. I'm not going to go torturing an animal. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do that.
Right.
But I don't have a problem eating an animal either.
Okay. So paying for their torture is fine with you. So that's called murder by proxy. So when you pay a hitman to kill another person, do you think that you are now no longer held accountable?
I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I don't put animals and humans at the same level.
Oh, you don't have to. Like I said, you only need to realize that your taste bud, palate pleasure, a fleeting momentary sensory pleasure, isn't morally worth more than the life of a sentient individual. So if we use that justification, if you were consistent across the board with that logic, with your worldview, then you would say that rape is excusable because they got sensory pleasure out of the rape victim.
I don't see it the same way. Okay,
explain.
I just don't see rape and eating a dead animal or eating animal for consumption as the same. I don't see it the same.
Have you seen the standard practice for how animals are slaughtered and how milk is made?
I've actually seen some movies. I've seen some. It's bad. It's really bad.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to be more conscious is where I get my meat.
Right.
For example, I lived in Mississippi. I lived in Uzbekistan, and that's a Muslim country. To get meat that's halal, there's a way that it's like kosher. There's a way that they practice killing the animal respectfully.
How do you respectfully slit someone's throat? Would you say that holds up in a court of law if we apply that?
I can tell you why. I think it's a lot better than picking up pigs, and I've seen this. Poor babies. They pick them up and just throw them in the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, stuff like that.
Well, they all get put in the truck, grass-fed, free-range, cage-free, and sent to the slaughterhouse no matter what, to where they're bolt-gunned in the head, semi-conscious, they have their throat slit and hung up by their legs and put on an assembly line. Every animal, no matter what, does not change the health benefits, okay? It does not change the ethics at all. So morally and health-wise, environmentally, grass-fed, free-range, cage-free, it's all the same. They all go to the same place. Yeah.
And you know what? Like I said, I'm sorry, but I don't have a problem with it. I just don't.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't.
Do you see a lack of empathy there as being a problem with society today, that a lot of people just don't have a problem with paying for the needless slaughter of an innocent individual?
No, it's not the same because most people don't see it. And
but you've seen it and you say, I don't care. So the apathy that you're exuding.
It's not that I don't care. I do care. But that's not going to stop me from eating meat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just not going to stop.
So it sounds like morally you are opposed to the needless slaughter of a sentient individual, of children, and the rape and murder and torture and slaughter of these little children in the industry. That's where we get our dairy, right, is from raping the cows. We put our fists up their anus and we artificially inseminate them with the semen we jacked off from a bull. Standard practice in the dairy industry. We don't put them on cowmatch.com and they meet, compatible and we have a candlelit romantic dinner. No, we pay as consumers the supply and demand. So in order for them to feed the demand, they have to mass produce and mass inseminate. And then when the children are born, they can't drink the milk. So within days of being born, their throats are slit, and that's called veal. And then the mother cows, when they've been raped so much throughout their lives, they live about a third of their lifespan. So they're still children when they've been raped raped repeatedly. When they have been raped so much that they get exhausted, they're called spent dairy cows. They're sent to slaughter, and that's what makes beef. So about 40 to 60% of our meat actually comes from the dairy industry. They're raped mothers. So do you sympathize at all with that?
Well, wait a minute, hold up.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Hold up. The information that you're giving me, you have to understand when people walk up to your table and you're giving them all this information, you got to give us the time to fact check that.
Sure.
I got to listen. I hear what you're saying, but give me a minute and an opportunity to fact check that.
Absolutely. So everything you need to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hearing
That's what I want to do is
I
encourage
get
people
what
to
you're
think for
saying.
themselves. I don't want to
get
tell
what you're
people
saying.
how to live or how to think,
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Yeah, informing
I think
people, like we were saying, is the most
would
important.
Agree. I would hope most human beings in their right mind would know that that is disgusting and terrible.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most people wouldn't pay for that to happen if they knew what was really going on.
If we really knew what that's disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's not for biological dependency. Even though every human body is a little bit different, we're all still humans, so we all still thrive on a plant-based diet. So we don't have to consume these products, and therefore there's no moral justification for paying for those
believe that
products.
because we were born on a plant-based diet.
Right.
Okay. And I don't know what your belief system is, but I'm a Christian. I believe in God. And I believe that when God created Adam and Eve, He put them in a
Garden of Eden, right?
Yeah.
Where it's ripe with plants to eat.
The killing and the slaughter was actually sin.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
as told in the Bible, yep, that's absolutely true. It's the work of the devil is the needless slaughter.
That there's Seventh-day Adventists. They're vegetarian.
Right. Some of the healthiest studies, are found in the Seventh-day Adventists.
Yeah, and they actually have Loma Linda. I just saw on a commercial, Loma Linda, California, is a predominant, and they have the Loma Linda Hospital, which is Seventh-day Adventist. They have the highest, they have the highest, what's the word I'm looking for, longevity in that town.
Lowest mortality rates?
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I know it.
Seems like you do. It seems like you do.
I know what I need to do. I know exactly. I've been telling myself, you need to cleanse. You need to cleanse. You need to cleanse. Dude, I just had, check this out. I just went to that Thai basil place.
Oh yeah, so good. I love Thai basil.
I don't like that.
Oh, you don't? Oh, last time it's been a while since I've been there, but I thought it was good last time I was there.
Well, you're probably, because you're getting vegan. I got the chicken fried rice.
Oh.
First of all, the chicken was dried out, and they pound it, and it's like leather. And I'm like, oh my God! If I had just had it without the chicken, the fried rice itself was fine.
Oh, okay.
It's just the chicken. I'm like, that was disgusting. Ironically, the irony behind it.
Yeah.
But what is your name?
Jackson.
Vicky, nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Thanks so much for stopping by and chatting with me. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, tell people about the no, I get it. I would say 90% of what you're saying I agree with.
Nice. Right on.
I do. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, right on. Hey, well, I'm here on a regular basis, so feel free whenever to update me. No, I graduated about 6-7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now what do you do now?
I'm a wedding DJ here in Chico.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jackson, thank you.
Thanks, Vicky.
Nice meeting you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks.